Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of TWD Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. Now that The Walking Dead Season 10 has officially wrapped up, it's time to do my season review for what I think overall of The Walking Dead Season 10, give a rating, give my opinions, what I liked, what I didn't like, and give my thoughts overall on what I thought of The Walking Dead Season 10. Okay guys, just going to do another video for today. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing a very big video for The Walking Dead for today. This one is going to be talking about, unfortunately, now that The Walking Dead is off break, now that The Walking Dead Season 10 has officially wrapped up, which of course we did think that we would see Season 10 wrap up a little bit sooner than this, but of course with the additional episodes I had to wait a little bit longer to make this video, and that is for my official Season 10 season reviews. So, man, what a ride this has been. I mean, honestly, what a darn ride this has been. And The Walking Dead Season 10 has been a season that, for a lot of us has kind of just, it's been around for so long that honestly you kind of forget about how amazing the season is when you kind of look back on it. Because it's been a while since certain, episodes have kind of aired. So, The Walking Dead Season 10 runtime has been from October 2019 all the way now until April 2021. So, this season has gone on for about a year and a half, roughly. And it has been a incredible ride for The Walking Dead Season 10, I will say. I have my problems with this season. I also have the compliments I will give this season. So that is what we're going to do in this video, and we're going to kind of delve into that a little bit. So we're going to talk about the episodes. We're going to run down the episodes, what I like and what I don't like. And we'll discuss the characters, what characters I think are the best this season, what characters I think are the worst. And then I will also discuss, finally kind of a main rating for this season. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so kicking things off with The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 1, the season premiere. So, this one is called Lines We Cross. And this episode, for me, it's an alright premiere. It's just an alright for me personally as a premiere. I think that this episode does have some good parts. I like when the satellite falls. I like some stuff like that. And I do like the kind of character interactions we get in this one with, like, Carol and Daryl and stuff like that. But I just don't know in terms of a premiere how I feel about it. Now, I do like the standoff between Alpha and Carol, but I don't really know how much else I can really say about this episode. It's just alright for me personally. We Are the End of the World is a really bad episode in terms of placement, in terms of just kind of what it does. I do like the Alpha and Beta kind of connection they go for here, but the whole, hey, I'm A, hey, Mr. B, like, I'm just like, man, this is the most cringiest thing. And I will say, I do like I said, I like their kind of relationship they've got going between Beta and Alpha. But I just don't know, placement-wise, why they would place that as the second episode of the season. I just don't understand that. Now, Ghosts. Now, this is when we get into an episode I really like. This episode I really like. We've got the border meeting. We've got the, the hours kind of ticking by as you've got Alpha and them sending wave after wave to Alexandria. You've got Carol and all her hallucinations. You've got, of course, Sadiq and the stuff with Dante kind of starting to come up. And you've also got Negan who saves Aaron. So this episode, fantastic. Definitely the best out of the first three. Then we got Silence the Whispers, which is the episode where Lydia gets attacked. We also do have kind of the Negan question of what should we do with him. This is the one where he of course gets out. And we do also have the kiss scene between Ezekiel and Michonne. So kind of some weird stuff there, but I do like the stuff with Lydia getting attacked. I thought that whole thing was really cool, and the kind of question of what to do with Negan. So I really like that episode, and I thought they did a good job with that one. Just kind of wish that the whole Ezekiel and Michonne thing just kind of stayed away. But episode 5 This is the Negan episode with Brandon, and man, honestly, this kid, I'll tell you one thing right now, this episode is really good with the Negan and Brandon stuff. I think the actor for Brandon really killed it in this, and I like how he kind of faces off against Beta by the end of this episode. I thought that was really cool. Alright, you big-ass freak, let's do this. But we do also have kind of some flaws with this episode, because we've got the filler with Magna, her stealing the supplies, stuff like that. I do like the Daryl and Connie, kind of scene, but her stealing supplies is just so weird. I don't know. It takes the episode down for me a little bit. We also do find out that Ezekiel has cancer, which is another storyline I wasn't the biggest fan of, to be honest. But I think that episode is a pretty good episode when it comes to the Negan stuff and all that. Just maybe, I guess, some of the secondary storylines didn't really work out that well for me personally in that episode. But, next up, we got Bonds, episode 6. This is the episode with Daryl and Carol. I remember they're out kind of, trying to, deal with the herd. You've got Negan and, Beta. And I really like the Negan and Beta interactions in this episode. I thought that was really well done. It's got that playful music kind of playing. And you've also got Negan, who officially joins the Whispers. So I like that episode. I thought that one was pretty good. And we do also get our first look at the Stephanie character from the Commonwealth. So that's really cool as well, too. Episode 7, Open Your Eyes. Holy frig. So this episode is crazy. I love this episode. The horror, kind of feel they go for this one with the death of Sadiq, the twist with Dante, the realization there, and also Carol sparing Lydia. Now, Carol was really annoying with the whole Lydia situation in this episode, but I do like how Gamma is the one that finds out that Alpha lied in this episode. I like that. And for the death of Sadiq and just that twist with Dante, man, I mean, they killed it with that episode. Now, episode 8, The World Before, this is the mid-season finale. I think this episode is alright. I don't think it's the strongest mid-season finale in the world. I also don't think it's the worst mid-season finale. I just think that some of the Virgil stuff just really does not do it for me. I don't like the character. I don't like how Michonne just kind of leaves like that. And I also don't like the cliffhanger with them getting trapped in the cave. Do not like how they do that at all. I'm sorry, it's unrealistic the way they all fall in like that. And, I don't want to delve into it too much, but I just think that the way they do it, it's like, you'd think Daryl would hear them fall. Like, are you telling me it's just quiet as Daryl is kind of marching through like, hey, Carol, Aaron, you guys all right? He just follows in. Like, I'm just like, man, if they're not desperate for a cliffhanger there, I don't know. I don't know what else that is. Because honestly, if that's not desperate for a cliffhanger, I don't know what else that is. Because man, that is a really, really weird cliffhanger. However, there's some positives with this episode as well, too. Like Gabriel killing Dante, like that whole thing there. So I do like, some of the Dante stuff, but the rest just kind of falls flat for me as a mid-season finale. Now, episode 9, this is the mid-season premiere. This episode for a mid-season premiere also kind of falls flat, and I'll tell you why. One is the cave lighting. That just took me out of the experience almost completely. Also, Carol just acting like a total idiot. This is Carol's worst episode of the entire show, in my opinion. And also, I will say, the Alpha and Negan stuff, while it wasn't that bad, it just was weird the way they did that scene. So, I thought that episode was just okay, but it wasn't my favorite mid-season premiere. Now, alright, this is when we jump into the fantastic episodes that is Season 10. This is where Season 10 really picks up for me. Stalker, episode 10. Holy crap. We've got Beta going in Alexandria. We got Alpha versus Daryl. We got the Lydia return. We've got the death of Laura. We got the fight in Alexandria. We got all this stuff. And, man, this episode, honestly, this episode, as many times as I watch it, I just enjoy it so much. It's got this feel with Beta going into Alexandria. It kind of gives you those, like, scary movies from the 80s kind of feel to it. And I love everything about this episode. I think it's fantastic. Now, Morningstar, another really great episode. I really like that one. We've got kind of the build-up, to the Hilltop battle, and we kind of get the Hilltop battle. And even though, in my opinion, I don't like the Hilltop battle that much in the show compared to the comic, I still like the feel of build-up. I like the feeling of, Daryl and them, they're getting ready. He grabs the Morningstar. He goes out there. You get that music montage as he's kind of walking out. And, man, what a fantastic episode, the way they did it visually. Now, Episode 12, Walk With Me. This episode, or I think it's Walk With Us, this one actually, and it's basically the episode with, the death of Alpha and all that kind of stuff. The hilltop battle kind of fell, a little flat there, but I will say the death of Alpha and that scene with Carol where she's like, took you long enough, damn, like honestly, just wow. For me, that's a highlight of the entire season right there. When you have that realization, man, it does something for me as a viewer that I just did not think we were going to see. Now, I will say another thing. We do have the death of Earl in this episode and also the brutal death of Gamma, which I also thought was just absolutely insane. So those three, Stalker, Morningstar, and Walk With Me, Walk With Us, one of those two. I get it mixed up with the season 3, episode 3 title, but those 3 episodes, fantastic episodes. Like, I love those episodes. Now, all right, now we get into a really crappy episode right off the bat after those. So, Michonne's last episode, episode 13. So, terrible exit for a character. I'm sorry, terrible exit. I like the concept of her going to find Rick. I like that concept. I like how she helps those people at the end, those innocent people that are begging for help, because it's something Rick would do, and I like that. I think that's really cool. But Virgil ruins this episode. Like, he ruins it. And honestly, as much as I would like to sit here and compliment it, the hallucinations were just weird. The way they have Michonne be a savior. I like how they kind of show, some of the older characters again, some of the older scenes, like the lineup scene or this and that. But it's just weird. They reused this clip of Rick from, season, from The Walking Dead season 2, episode 7, and they just update it with kind of the older look for him, and it's just odd. It's really, really weird the way they do it. And it's just, for a Michonne exit episode, I'm sorry, that episode is a joke. Now, next up, we have Look at the Flowers, episode 14. This episode is really good. I love the Negan and Daryl stuff as Negan kind of takes out the whispers with Daryl. I love the untie me asshole part. I really like that. And we also have the kind of beta stuff where he's trying to kind of struggle with how he's going to lead the whispers forward after the death of Alpha. But we also have a bit of a kind of flaw for me in this episode, which is a very filler storyline with Carol. I love seeing Samantha Morton. I love seeing her character as Alpha, but the Carol hallucinations really drag that episode down for me a little bit. However, there's enough in there with the Daryl and Negan stuff and the beta stuff to kind of keep the episode standing, if you will. And it's also the introduction to Princess. I figured we'll just add that in there at the end. So, the Tower, episode 15, you guys know when I saw this episode, I was furious because it was supposed to be the build-up to the episode. Instead, it's the last episode of The Walking Dead Season 10 that we got for a while. I remember I went off in my review for that episode just because, and I still stand by it, it's still a really lackluster build-up to a finale. And yeah, we get to know the princess a little bit more, but as an episode, I don't understand it. I don't understand what they were doing there. Now, season 10, episode 16. So we finally see episode 16, and in my opinion, it was a great episode. It was a fantastic episode, and what is meant to be the season finale. And I know they don't consider it the season finale anymore, but if that was the season finale, and in my book it is a season finale, it's one of the best Walking Dead finales. I love the way they do it with them walking through the herd. You've got the return of Maggie, Gabriel, sacrificing himself and then getting saved, the death of Beta, and there's kind of where the flaws kind of come in, is that the Beta and Negan fight was absolutely horrible, but I will say the knives as he pulls them out of his eyes, you couldn't ask for a better death scene right there. Absolutely just fantastic. And we also get the introduction to the Commonwealth, which, in my opinion, they did in an amazing way. And honestly, regardless of what they do with episode 20, Splinter, that introduction at the end of the episode is, in my opinion, where season 10 deserved to end. That is, in my opinion, where season 10 should have ended. They should have just ended season 10 right there. Now, all right, we get these bonus episodes now. We get these 6 additional episodes kind of out of nowhere and to our surprise. And I remember when we heard about these episodes, we were very excited, and some delivered while others didn't. And that's what I'll say about it. So, episode 17, Home Sweet Home. I love it. I love the Reaper storyline. I love how they bring in a new concept there with Maggie's group, Cole, Elijah, really kind of getting to know some of those characters a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll get to know them a little bit more in season 11, but a good introduction to those characters, I would have to say. I love the Negan and Maggie interactions, even though I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more Negan in this episode. It's a really good character episode for the Maggie character, and I do think that for Maggie's return, this episode did a darn good job, I would say. And we also saw little Herschel, so I definitely think this episode has a lot to offer. Now, finally, episode 18, pretty good episode, not horrible, not great, just kind of alright. It's basically a love story between Daryl and Leah. They finally give Daryl a love interest, so I guess that is one positive to kind of take away from this episode. But I will say this episode does suffer a little bit when it comes to kind of where is the story going to go? Like, you know, where does that story, like, how does that story matter in the end, I guess is what I'm asking. That's the big question. Where does the story go, and, you know, how does it impact the storyline? So, again, we'll have to see for that one. But, you know, decent love story episode and stuff like that. We got the Carol and Daryl stuff. It's all right. Episode 19, also just an all right episode for me. Gabriel and Aaron, of course. This is the episode with Robert Patrick, which I was really thrilled to see Robert Patrick in this. And honestly, I think the dude did a fantastic job. I just think that the writing for his character was just kind of all over the place. And honestly, this episode is another just random season 10C episode that doesn't really do too much for me, and also because I just don't like the death of the Robert Patrick character. I don't like the fake out with his brother. I don't like how they literally used Robert Patrick a second time, and that picture of Robert Patrick and Robert Patrick is the most embarrassing thing I think I've seen on The Walking Dead for a while. Anyway, not the biggest fan of that episode, but I know some people like it. I'm not a big fan of it personally. It's just alright. Episode 20, really bad episode. Like, this episode might be the winner of the worst episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10, to be honest, because where does the story go? Like, honestly, there's no impact. We get to know the princess, we, you know, get faked out a bunch of times, bam, bang, done. Like, that's it. So, I don't know. This episode, it doesn't do too much for me as a viewer, and honestly, it just kind of wastes my time, is really the one thing I'll say about it. It just wastes my time. It really wastes my darn time. So, that's just kind of my thoughts on that one. Now, episode 21, it's basically just a soup episode. We get to see Carol making soup, and we get to see her out there killing some walkers. And no, wait, we don't see that, because they have to kind of follow the, you know, the kind of the rules and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, man, oh, man. So, this episode, episode 21, I don't really agree with the reviewers saying that this is the worst episode of The Walking Dead, but it's just whatever. It's just kind of a day in the life episode. Carol's making soup, Daryl's getting stuff out on the road, runs into a few walkers, you know, the run-of-the-mill type of stuff, and by the end of the episode, they're kind of just still they're not sure how to talk to each other. So I'm like, okay, so, alright episode, but as a penultimate, I'm sorry, I would take the tower over this. Like, this was really just, as a penultimate, I don't know what they were thinking. And then finally, we have the season 10 finale. So we have the final episode, which they decided to do a Negan backstory, of course, adapting the iconic storyline from the Walking Dead comics, named Here's Negan. Now, this episode, another fantastic episode. Like, Home Sweet Home, really good. But man, when you get to this finale, holy frig, honestly, that episode, the Here's Negan backstory, is, in my opinion, one of the best Walking Dead episodes they've done, period. And you know, in a long time, too. I just think that the way they did that episode was really good, and as a finale, I really liked it. You know, I don't care if it's a backstory. If it works, which it did, for a finale, then I think it's fine. So, okay, now, those are the episodes. Those are all 22 episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10. Alright. Now, I liked it. I liked the episodes. I liked Season 10. But let's run through the characters. So, who do we got this season? We got Daryl. We got Carol. We got Negan. We got Gabriel. We got Judith. We got Aaron. We got a bunch of other characters. I'm trying to kind of think here off the top of my head. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Sadiq, Rosita, come on, let's see here. Ezekiel, Jerry, Yumiko, Magna, Connie, Kelly, Luke, Eugene. Yeah, and, you know, the list just kind of goes on and on. Princess. But in terms of the characters, I think there's one star of this season. And there's one star this season. And it's the one character that stands out the most this season out of any other character. And that is going to be Scott. No, I'm kidding. So, the one character that I think is a huge highlight in this season is Negan. I think Negan is a fantastic character. The redemption arc they kind of take that character through in this season is unlike anything we've ever seen before. And honestly, I think Here's Negan really proves that this is a Negan season, because throughout the whole season, you're focusing on his redemption. Throughout the whole season, you're focusing on kind of what he's going to do next, at least in my opinion. And by the end of the season, he has kind of decided to go down a different path, kind of let go of the past. The past is dead, if you get my Fear the Walking Dead reference there, and, you know, kind of move on with a, you know, kind of forward life. So, I like it. I thought Negan's character is fantastic in this one. Daryl's good as usual. Carol sucks. Let's be honest. Carol sucks this season. Gabriel's fantastic. Rosita is decent. Eugene, you know, pretty good. Ezekiel, kind of whatever. Jerry's good as always, I would say, and a lot of the other characters, Aaron and stuff like that, you know, pretty good. But overall, Negan for me is what makes this season major, and it's what makes this season, you know, worth watching, I would have to say, in terms of characters. So, alright, so to finalize this Walking Dead Season 10 review, we're going to give a rating. Out of 10, what do I give Season 10 of The Walking Dead? So, I've thought about this one for a good bit. Kind of tried to go through the fact that we've had the Whisper War, but Michonne's last episode, but Here's Negan, but a filler 10C. You know, so there's a lot of back and forth with this half season. And, what am I saying, half season? This entirety of Season 10 of The Walking Dead. And I'm going to say that The Walking Dead Season 10 is going to get, for me personally, as a rating, a 7 out of 10. I think that this season is good. I think this season has a lot to it. I think this season has some really good episodes. I think it's got a lot of great stuff. However, it really falls short for me personally with 10C. A lot of 10C was not necessary, and you can't tell me it wasn't. The Tower being a very lackluster episode, Michonne's last episode really being bad, a terrible mid-season finale, a terrible mid-season premiere, in my opinion, and kind of a whatever start to Season 10 with episodes 1 and 2. But also major positives: Ghosts, Silence the Whispers, Open Your Eyes, and then in particular, Stalker, Morningstar, Walk With Us, and Look at the Flowers, I would even say in that. A Certain Doom being a favorite of mine. Home Sweet Home and Here's Negan all being huge highlights and major positives for this season. So when you kind of equal all that, and when you kind of balance all that, The Walking Dead Season 10 is going to stay at a solid 7 out of 10 for me personally. But again, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear, what do you like about Season 10 of The Walking Dead? What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you think about the characters? What do you don't like about the characters? What you do like about the characters? What characters you like? What characters you don't? And what episodes for you are the highlights? And what episodes for you are the kind of bigger flaws and episodes that you'll probably never watch again? 10C. So, that is that, guys. That is my opinion on The Walking Dead Season 10. I love it. I do. I really love it. I think it has a lot of flaws, but I think the positives are good enough to still give it a high enough rating for The Walking Dead Season 10. So, anyway, guys, I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button to don't miss any Walking Dead videos. Follow Dance Walking Dead videos, subscribe, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.